Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It is day 21 of a Proverb A Day here, May 2023. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for 21 days. I know this is a commitment. It is a commitment to read, to study, to watch these videos. So just thank you so much for your discipline and your commitment. You guys are doing absolutely amazing. And I'm really excited, as always, just to get into this with you guys. So day 21, the title in my book is The Lord Controls Wise and Foolish People. And the devotional, I cannot actually remember. Let me think back. I know that the scripture that was used was 31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. And I believe the devotional was just saying to remember that you are protected, I think. I don't remember. I am so sorry. I did my devotion early this morning. I did my devotion around like midnight, and then I went to sleep. Then I woke up and I read it again, and then I went back to sleep. So I should remember it, right? Because I've read it a million times, but we're here. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this with you guys. I took some notes, so just, buckle up, enjoy the ride, get your Bible, get a snack, y'all know the vibes. All right, so Chapter 21, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. So basically, God has full control over our lives. Nothing happens without the Lord's approval. And I know some people might be thinking, okay, but all this bad has happened and did this. Okay, y'all, it really goes deeper. It really goes deeper than what meets the eye, right? And so there are some situations, all situations, God knows what's going on because God created our beginning, our middle, and our end, right? So God already knows the things that are going to happen. There are some situations where we have stepped out of the safety of God, and so God has to allow these things to happen because we stepped out of safety. And it talks about multiple times in Proverbs, like, if you're out here doing wicked things, you're going to be punished, right? Like, you're going to get your consequences. Now, there are some cases where you can, there are some cases where you can, how do I say this? There are some situations where you know that you've done the wrong, right? And because you know that you've done the wrong, you don't even know what's going to happen in the wrong. I mean, we can always repent, we can always repent. But some situations, it's deeper than us. Like I said the other day, like sometimes things go past us and it goes to our children and our children's children. So I am a big believer of not only praying for yourself, but praying for your children, praying for your grands, your great-grands, your great-great-grands, and all that jazz. And just praying, that the evil seeds that you have planted, that they don't reap that harvest. And so, but God knows every single thing that's going to happen. And sometimes we might think, bad things are happening and, the devil's trying me and which could be true. I'm not saying it's not true. But just a reminder that God tests us as well. And sometimes God will allow, just like, I really want to say it was Big Homie Job. Hold on. He's right here. Yes, Satan has to test Job. That's literally the thing. So just like Big Homie Job, sometimes, God allows you to go. God allows Satan to test you. God allows Satan to do certain things just to, to test you, to see, okay, you say that you've given me your life. You say that you have this strong faith. You say this, you say that. Let me see it. I know who you are. I know what you're going to do. But sometimes we need to know. A few months ago, I remember I had this thought and I was saying, God, what happens? I hope that when things get harder, I still am on fire for you and I still love you the way that I do now. And literally, right after I had that thought, things got real tough for me. And I feel like I failed the test, right? But I feel like I was not, like, I mean, obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious. I still love God. I still, to this day, I still love God. I still want to do the things that God has called me to do. Like, I still want to worship him. I still want to give God everything. I still want to honor God in all of my choices and all of my decisions. But I feel like during that period, I was just so down bad. Like, I literally was just, like, some might call it the big sad, okay? Like, I was just not, right? And then some other stuff happened, and I feel like it tried to come back, and I remember I just kept saying, I'm gonna pass the test this time. I'm not gonna let the big sad get me. I'm not gonna, and I'm like, I'm in it, okay? I'm in that thing. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep praying. I'm gonna keep reading my Bible, okay? You ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna do these devotions. Like, I made a commitment, right? So I say all of that to say, God knows every single thing that's gonna happen. God controls every single thing that we do. And yes, and that is why literally on my mirror, God, please order my steps. Like, keep steady my steps according to your according to your promise, and let no iniquity get dominion over me. That's what's on my mirror. And yes. So yeah, verse 2, every way of a man is right. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. And so we might always think that what we're doing is right, what we're doing is correct, but God tests our hearts. And I wrote down, are you giving from a pure place? And I don't just mean monetarily. Like, if you're serving in the church, are you serving in the church because you want the recognition of, oh, I'm serving in the church. Y'all see me up here up on the pulpit? Yeah, y'all heard me. Y'all heard me during worship. I hit that note. I hit that note, okay? Like, are you serving to please and to praise yourself, or are you serving to worship God? And God knows what it is. Even if you think it's one thing, but deep down in your heart, it's another. Like, God knows these things. And that's why it is important for us to, like, we can't do anything without God. We just can't. Like, I'll be the one to say it. We can't do anything without God. We find our strength in God. And we can't overcome the things that we experience without God. So if you do find yourself being proud, if you do find yourself worshiping yourself, praising yourself, making yourself your own God, like idolizing yourself, idolizing things, idolizing people, go to God. Like, go to God. Hey, God, here I am playing Sims with my life again. And I don't want to. And I don't know why this keeps happening, but I know it won't stop unless I have you with me. So please, God, help me. Like, go to God. Verse 3, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. So to be a just person, to be a righteous person is more acceptable, according to Proverbs, than sacrifice. And something that I've learned is sometimes being a just and righteous person requires sacrifice. And so you're going to be doing both. All right? You're going to be doing both. 4, a high look and a proud heart, a proud look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. So pride is sinful. To be proud is a sin. To be proud is a sin. It goes back. It's in one of these good books that I can't remember right now, but like, pride is literally, it's a demon. Like, it's a demon, and these types of demons only come out with prayer and fasting, right? So pride is a demon. Pride is a sin. 5, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to the plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. And so plenteousness is abundance, profit, and superiority. So the thoughts of the diligent tend only to the plenteousness. So when you're diligent in your work, you're only going to tend to the things that are in abundance. Well, you're going to tend to the things that makes it abundant, right? But everyone that is hasty only is going to want. So if you're always quick to get something, you're always going to want. Like, think about it. So you've been wanting these shoes, and your instant gratification, bing, 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 started going off. So you said, bet, I'm going to just buy that. I just got paid. I just paid my rent. I don't know if y'all do y'all luxury spending and all that stuff after y'all handle y'all bills. That's what I try to do. I try to at least keep a roof over my head, But I just got paid. I'm for some instant gratification. You buy that. You wear the shoes 2 days. Now you want new shoes. You saw some TikTok girly saying that you needed this one thing from her Amazon list that made her drinking coffee in the morning cuter, and you used it for a week. And now you want the next TikTok girly thing, and now you need the ice cube tray, and now you need like all this stuff. Like when you're so hasty is the word that is used. When you're hasty, you're always gonna want something. When you are continuously tending to the things that you have, you're too busy working on the things you have to be out here wanting more. Yo, that's even in relationships. When you are consistently working in your relationship to better your relationship, you are consistently going on dates, consistently affirming, consistently giving gifts, consistently giving quality time, not just quantity time, and quantity time if you got it, like you're consistently doing these things. You don't have no time to want nobody else. You don't have no time to be over here studying and scoping and having wander night. You don't have no time for that if you are diligently tending to your relationship, And that goes for all relationships, okay? 6, the getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. So don't lie to get what you want. Coolio. 7, the robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of man is proud and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. So if you're not helpful to those in need, you're not going to get help when you need it. One of the things Miss Tiffany says is so there is a corporate fast that she does at the beginning of every single month. And when you fast, one of the things you're supposed to do while you fast is give alms. You're supposed to give back. And so she always says, like, people are like, oh, well, I don't have any poor near me. I don't have anybody to give to. And it's like, what if the person who God put on this earth who had your blessing in hand had that same mindset? The person who's holding your blessing is like, it's kind of out of my way. They live 45 minutes out. I just don't think I'm going to give them this blessing. I'm gonna hold on to it. I mean, it's not really doing anything for me because it's not my blessing, but I'm just gonna hold on to it. Like, if you are not considerate of others, if you are not willing to give, if you are not willing to serve, when it comes your time, when you are in need, you're not gonna get that help. You're not going to get that help. And I'm not saying, just serve and be helpful for selfish reasons. Again, ask God for a giving heart. But like, real in the word, it tells you, like, it literally says, where is it at? 13. Whosoever stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he shall also cry himself, but shall not be heard. So if you're here, if you're seeing somebody, and especially like if you have it, and I know it's, help the poor, help the less fortunate. Sometimes it's not just the people who are on the streets. Sometimes it is the people living in your house. Sometimes it is your friends. Sometimes it is a stranger at your church that you may not know that well. Sometimes it is a coworker, okay? But when God is telling you to give. It's not ours anyway. None of this is ours. There's nothing in this life that is ours. Like, our kids, not ours. Our money, not ours. The place that we live, it's not ours. Everything in this life is God's and should be devoted to God. So, yeah. 14, a gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but the destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you drift from a place of understanding, if you drift from your covering, from your protection, because you have protection in this wise place. You are under God's protection, right? But if you drift, then you'll find yourself with the dead. You'll find yourself with the people who are unwise. You'll find yourself with the foolish. You'll find yourself with the wicked. 17, he that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. And he that loveth pleasure. So when I read that, it literally goes back to instant gratification. Again, I went to this youth group the other night. It was talking about finances, entrepreneurship, things like that, with the Rock Church in Houston. If y'all are ever interested, it was a great time. I think it was their first one. It was called Set Apart Fridays. It was absolutely beautiful. Like, it was so amazing to see so many young people there on a Friday night, like when they could be out there doing God knows what. And it's not like it was just like a 20-minute thing. Like, we was there for a minute, and it was so nice. But they talked about like feeding like that instant gratification, like I spoke about a little bit earlier. And gotta remember where I was going with this. Hold on, y'all. Oh, so when you love pleasure, like when you're always seeking that instant gratification, if every single time you get paid, you pay all your bills, you got $100 left, but every time you get paid, you take that full 100 to please yourself instantly instead of investing or saving or tithing. Because if you didn't tithe already, tithing, like, if you're not doing the things that, like, if you're always seeking out for your pleasure, you're gonna be poor. And that's not even just in a monetary thing. Like, if you leave every relationship as soon as one hiccup happens, as soon as y'all get in one disagreement because y'all are two different people and y'all might not think the exact same way over every single thing, you're never gonna have a long-lasting, strong, withstanding, built on a solid foundation relationship if every single time you get in a disagreement with somebody, you cut them off and you stop being friends with them, you stop dating them, she made me mad today, we not cool. He made me mad today, we not cool. Like, you will be poor in your relationships. So, yeah. 18, the wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with the contentious and an angry woman. There is treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. So when you stay in the place of wisdom, you'll always have everything that you want. When you step out, you're going to use up all your resources, And there's something to be, like, again, you're continually tending to these things, so you're continually like desiring these things. There's something to be desired in the place of the wise. All this stuff, 2 + 2 = 4 when all the stuff is added up. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from trouble. Learn to shut up. Again, I say I too am learning this lesson, because I thought I was doing real good and learning. Everyone that I used to hang out with, well, not everyone, but like a chunk of people that I used to hang out with, I really just stopped. Like, I just stopped being in the mix of a lot of stuff, because I don't need to sit there. I will not add anything to this conversation. I don't need to be here. I do not need to be here. Learn when to hold your tongue. Learn when to not be in certain places, Proud and haughty scorner is his name who dealeth in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. And so basically, the upright is going to give thought to all of his decisions. The foolish man, the wicked man, he's not going to think about nothing he's doing. He's just about to be out here doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants, not thinking about any of the consequences, not thinking about how this is really affecting him or anybody else. He's just doing whatever he wants to do, right? But the upright man's like, okay, let me think about this. Let me think about all the decisions I'm making. Let me think about this financial decision. Let me think about, should I eat this? Even though I know when I eat this thing, it gives me heartburn, or it makes me feel sick, or I'm throwing up the next 7 days. Like, he thinks about his decisions. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord. There ain't nobody greater. Okay? There ain't nobody greater. Okay? Big God, not the little one. There is nobody greater. And there is, the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. And whenever I read that, I just think about how, like, God is always like, God is a provider. Jehovah Jireh, our provider. It's not just a monetary thing. God is going to provide. He's going to give us the provision to do every single thing that needs to be done. He's going to prepare us for the battles and prepare us for the wars. But just remember that the safety is in God. The safety is not in the fact that now you have this, and this. The safety is not in the things. The safety is in the Lord that is with you. The safety is in God who allowed who gave you all of this. So, yeah. I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. And I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. And we're almost done. We literally have 10 days left. We have 10 days left. So let's finish out strong. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, y'all just want to talk to your girl, go ahead and hit me up. But y'all have a good one. I love you. Goodbye.